Hello people, Raz here. And today on Monday Match I will have a featured match between the deck list that I first posted on this channel and a Rezzard list of a friend of mine. His deck is called Mr Rezzard and it's more or less his standard Rezzard list without that degenerate Schrödinger stuff. I go for second and draw my 5 cards. I decide not to mulligan, whilst he does a mulligan of 3. He will tap his Rezzard for a black silence stone. His deck is only green and black. And down comes his Parzival, the Flying Knight, that he plays because his deck has mostly flying resonators. And herself, she herself is flying as well. She is a 1-cost 2/2 flying Knight of the Round Table. With the ability of enter, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, choose a Regalia or a Resonator with flying from among them and put them into your hand, and you can banish her to put 2+1/+1 counters on any Resonator with flying. On any one Resonator with flying. Now he decides to grab the Death Scythe and potentially loses out on 2 Forestiers and a Road. I again remind him of how you put stuff below the deck, since he didn't play in a rather long time on untap, and then he shuffled his deck accidentally. Then I draw a card, I save the Queen, rather good, but not in that particular hand. And then I play my Parzival, which is, actually John Dark, but it is more or less a Parzival, because she lets me look at the top 5 cards and grab a Light and Darkness card from among them and put them into my hand, and luckily I get that Mother Goose. Then I end my turn and his turn starts. He of course plays his Regalia, because what else would he do? Untap having some difficulties and using the wrong thing. He's having some minor internet difficulties as well, so keep that in mind whilst watching this. Of course, down comes his Death Scythe, and he uses his effect to put 2 strangers in the grave and draw 1. After that he notices that Death Scythe does not produce wool for strangers, and then, well, passes the turn after taking the 2-headed dragon in hand. Reading what Death Scythe exactly can produce, not that much, but it has a rather strong ability of getting it back from grave. And after passing the turn he decided that he wanted to swing for 2. I'll allow that because I don't really care about that. Down comes a second stone and I play a Mother Goose and get 2 of any crystals and then swing into him for 2 after, or no, wait, before passing my turn, and then playing my mage jacks, shadow axes. At the end of turn, I decide to get a light crystal, since Mother Goose lets me choose between 2. I add a counter to remember what will I produce with her, just in case that I have to float any will. He drops his 3rd stone, and there comes the Mikage Raya. He of course searches his deck for a Griffon and puts it into the graveyard, which then immediately more or less gets reanimated by that thing spell. His Raya goes back to hand since I have no means to trigger anything, and he gets 2 recovered stones. That is one of the powerful plays that the Rezzard player can do with his deck, and he now has in turn 3 5 will open. Decides to play the Raya again to search his deck for a Mikage and put that one in grave, and then afterwards using the part of true power to reanimate the Mikage as well. He's speculating if I have a Shadow Axe in hand, but then decides to proceed with his Mikage Seijuro anyway. He then wants to ping my Jeanne d'Arc, but I bench it in response, so he does not lose any life there, and I remind him of that his life pay is at resolution of the effect, so he just does not lose the life. At this point he could theoretically swing at me with the Parseval, but I don't know why he does not do that. He wants to play the Mikage Raya, but I remind him that if Mikage Raya is played this turn, and if I had a Shadow Swordsmaster, I would probably just kill her, since Shadow Swordsmaster does not kill 3 creatures, but as many creatures as I banish Darkness Magic Stones. He swings at me for 2 with the Parseval, and in his end phase I flash in 2 Shadow Axes and then draw a card. I recover, produce a stone, or rather call a stone, and then tap a black for a pair and awaken it with the 2 cages that I have in hand to get some more of them crystals, and then pay 2 with the Regalia to play Shadow Swordsmaster. I draw 5 cards and let him banish 3 things. Then I decide to play another pair to get more crystals, and after that a Jeanne d'Arc just to kind of try to get another thing. This match shows that Rezzard isn't that inevitable engine, and a cheap deck can potentially defeat him anyway. I swing into him for 8 with the 2 Shadow Axes and then end my turn. Now during his draw phase he draws Moan of the Dead and uses it after untap. Yeah, and then kills my Shadow Swordsmaster with that, since I filled his grave enough. Then he accidentally puts his entire face down pile into his graveyard, but then he just puts them back one by one, except for the Faustus that would be in there because of the Moan of the Dead. After that he isn't that sure on what to do, and just decides on playing another Mikage, I think. Oh no, wait, he paid for a what was that thing called? Yeah. The Mikage. He steals a Shadow Axe off of my board, paying 4 life, which was not that good for him. He gets the crystals and deals some damage to me with them because he cannot use them anyway. Then he ends his turn. I draw a card. A King of Kings. I will not use him and rather play the Save the Queen for 4, passively killing his Shadow Axe and putting his Mikage Seijuro in range of my Nightmare Knight. I look at the top 4 cards of my deck and put a Mage Jack from among them into my hand, but I don't really care about that, since at that point I realized that I can just instantly kill him after swinging. So I swing for 6, end my turn, get a Darkness Crystal and just finish him off with that Shadow Axe. We debate on whether or not Dark Alice is super strong, and I remind him that he missed his last stone drop, and at that point we just both know that neither Rezzard nor Dark Alice are weak decks. Both are very strong, and Dark Alice is rather effective against Rezzard. Not as effective as Rezzard, but yes. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and tell me if you like this matchup and or my deck list working against Rezzard deck. Until next time, I will say goodbye.